Hi traders, this is Forex Nelson and I'm back again today with 4 trades. Today's date is December the 23rd. Now the first 2 trades here using my HA trigger system. I took them last night during the Asian time frame, which was close to 7 p.m. New York time, and I wanted to show that you can actually trade successfully with a day job. So let's say you have a 9 to 5 job, and then you're going to come home, and then any time after dinner, get in front of the charts. As you can see, the 2 trades I took last night were 7 p.m. approximately. Let's just drag and drop this first one up on the Euro Aussie, see where I got in at. Right at this point right here, took the trade. The overall trend you can clearly see is down, and it's a perfect example of a great way to trade. Love trading this way using the moving averages and the indicators down at the bottom. Now I knew the most it would do is come back to the moving averages. It could even come back to the goal line, but the stop has to just go above the goal line here, anywhere around here. And so I took the trade. Did go against me, let's see, 17 pips. And of course, if I would have got up early enough, I got up a little bit later, somewhere over here, and then I had to wait for this next cycle. I call this the flow of the market. Even at this point, I knew that it was going to come back down another cycle. So I just waited it out, and then I finally decided to close it as it was approaching this bottom again. Close it out, looks like with 29 pips, and 29 pips on the Euro Aussie paid $2,195. Now if I didn't take the trade over here, could have taken it in this general area and grabbed some pips. Looks like 33 pips there. Love trading with the HA trigger. Very easy, simple concept to understand. Blue we're buying, and of course red we're selling, but only when we know the direction of the trend. This situation is down, and then you're using the indicators down at the bottom to tell you when it's good to take the trade. And now on the next trade here, which is the Euro Aussie, same idea. I took the trade last night. Again, perfect example of how to trade with a day job. Took the trade same time. Now this one went against me, let's see, 11 pips. And of course, if I would have got in front of the computer at 6 this morning, I would have had 90 pips here, but it was working its way up by the time I saw it. And as soon as I saw this red candle, that would have been another entry, just to let you know. And I just decided, I ended up closing a trade just because I was happy with the pip total. And this happens to be, this one trade alone is 57 pips. And I'm generally, as a rule, happy with 50 or more pips. And those 57 pips on the Euro Aussie paid $4,027. Keep in mind, got the timing right over here. Red candle, another good entry. This red candle, another good entry. This red candle, another good entry. This red candle. And I could have stayed in the trade to actually grab some more pips. Another 25 pips. But I got way over my 50 pips in a trading session. That's what my goal is, and I'm already well past that. Moving right along to the pound New Zealand. Let's run a check on this trade. Now these trades, pound New Zealand here, 745 approximately, 44 and 46. I bought 2 pound pairs. I could have bought a few more of them based on pound strength. As you can see, the pound is near the top. love trading not only with the HA trigger, but this meter. If you are not using a meter, I'm very sure that you are losing. Once you get a half decent system, along with a good meter, remember not all meters are equal. I had to go through 12 meters to find a good one. And when I came across this one, after I used it for a while, established the fact that this is a very good meter. So on this pound New Zealand, we're going to drag and drop it up. Obviously, getting in right here would have been a much better plan as soon as everything lined up. But as I said, I got in front of the computer a little bit late, and by the time I actually was looking at the pound New Zealand, right around the goal line here, I decided to take the trade, and away it went. Everything was screaming down at the bottom to buy, and it took off for 75 pips and more. But I closed it at 75 pips, and those 75 pips on the pound New Zealand paid $5,236. Now this trade was not a great way to trade. Doesn't qualify until it gets around this point right here. But this was the pullback, and as I teach within the training videos, if it breaks the goal line and keeps going up, I call that a reversal. And another very good tip for you on this day is don't let anybody tell you don't trade when the market is slow. The market is always, every day, moving. If it's open, the market, it is moving. I trade every day that I feel like trading. Some days I take off. But look at this, 2 days before Christmas. If the market is open, these workhorses, and remember the workhorses are the first 8 pairs here, and of course the pound dollar I throw in. The other pairs are just these 2 pairs. I just throw in a couple extra pairs just for no particular reason, but those 9 workhorses are the ones that I focus on day in and day out. Whether the market is news and it's highly driven, or bank holidays. I trade bank holidays, not a big deal. The market's going to move. So now it won't move 200 pips, but what's wrong with 30 to 50, 60 pips? There's nothing wrong with that. When you're first starting out trading, as I did, going into trading rooms and whatnot, they would say, oh, bank holiday, don't trade. Market's too slow, too dead, not moving. Well, you put in enough chart time and you see the same thing day in and day out, you're going to soon realize. I went into a trading room more than 100 times. I won't say which one. He used to trade non-farm payroll. He would say, well, the numbers are not right. So he would say, no, trade today. Meanwhile, it's moving 50 to 150 pips. Couldn't believe it. Why have a trading room and give false information? I just don't understand that. So anyhow, the next pair is pound dollar. Last pair. Pound dollar. Very, very clear. This is a great way to trade. And we're going to drag and drop this up. I took the trade at 7:44 this morning. First blue candle. If it does a pullback, I'm not expecting it to go way down here. And that's why I put my stop in here, just to make sure I get covered. And let's just run a check on this. The stop was around 30 pips, and it did go 26 pips against me. Keep in mind, these pound pairs, you're going to need more than a 20 pip stop. So I just keep an eye on the trade and manage my stops and my target, manage the trade. For no particular reason other than I was happy, again with well over 50 pips. I know it went further up, and I could have grabbed some more pips, but when I was looking at the bottom at the totals, I was way beyond happy. So I closed the trade, 55 pips, and 55 pips on the pound dollar paid $5,400. So today was another great day of trading, and today's pip total came to 216 pips, and 216 pips paid out $19,866. If your system is not producing like my trigger system, doesn't really make any difference which one, they all produce the same fantastic results. I do have my favorite. I have my top 4 at the moment, and coming within a week or two, not now because it's the holidays, but I'm coming up with another new trading system, and that will be now one of my top best trigger system will be within the top 5. So this trigger system, the HA trigger system, I do charge $250 for it, and it is an advanced Heiken-Ashi trigger system, comes with 3.5 gigabytes of training, and you'll get an exact copy of my system on your MT4 platform. I just wanted to point out and stress the fact that it's very important that you have to learn trade management and money management, along with psychological. That is the #1 killer of all new traders. It's worth at least 50% of the problem or the puzzle, and 20% for trade management, 20% for money management, and guess what's left over? It's the system. The system is only 10%. I mention it from time to time. Every system out there, you'd be lucky to win 5 out of 10 times, 5 out of 50% of the time. If you want to get higher numbers, you have to learn how to trade the flow of the market. Took me around 700 systems and over $70,000 before I finally figured that out on my own. Could not understand why systems were not producing on a higher success rate. And the reason for that is nobody teaches you proper how the market actually flows. And once you learn the market movement, then you can win 80 or 90% of the time. You will have losers. Now, if I put in a 20 pip stop here, this would be a loser, only to find out, wow, look at it went. 135 pips. So I knew I was going in the right direction. And if it goes 20, 30, 40 pips against me, well, that's okay. I have rules that tells you when you should close the trade. I teach all of this stuff within the training videos. So the most important thing, as far as I'm concerned, is you really have to learn price movement. I call it the flow of the market, and that's exactly what I teach within all these videos, and there's a lot of videos. So now it does come with 4 MT4 templates and 9 custom indicators, and don't forget the meter. A lot of PDF books, a lot of Word documents. This is what you need, as you're going to need a lot of education to succeed. You're not going to learn this in 30 days. Impossible. But once you do learn it, trading becomes fun, and you can make as much money as, depending on, of course, how much you give with the broker, of course. I get traders asking me, what size account is. I basically tell traders, I do 1 standard lot for every $5,000 in my account. So I have a fairly large account, and it can handle, even a 100 pip drawback. It's not a big deal. I generally, as a rule, don't want to go that high, but 20, 30, 40 pips is nothing to worry about. So now I do teach a lot of ways to trade. That's why there's 42 training videos, and I threw in 9 bonus videos. The only one I'm going to mention here is I love trading this. A perfect example on the right side. That's exactly what the chart should look like. When I see that, I know 100%. Well, let's go with 99.9%. I know as long as I manage to trade properly. Like, don't keep my stops too tight. I know I'm going to have a winner. So this is my #1 way of trading. I teach many other different ways to trade the market. You can put it on pause and read all this stuff that I teach. And of course, if you have any questions at all you got to do is pick up the phone and call me. Here's my number. If you live too far, just send me an email. Here's my email address. And of course, I do prefer Skype. Made it easy for you. All you got to do is click on this link and we will have Skype connection. And through screen sharing, I'll give you a free session and answer your questions. Could never find anybody who will do that for me. Give me a session for free. Most people are just interested in selling and they don't want to answer questions, because if you ask enough questions or the right questions, you will soon find out they don't know how to trade. They just know how to sell. So be careful of these fancy websites showing you, all kinds of fancy stuff and $1 million homes and Lamborghinis. That's all an illusion just to get you excited. These people do not know how to trade. They just know how to sell and market the product. I don't even have a website. And I don't really care about the selling part of it. I remember saying at least 10 years ago, I want to be a successful trader before I talk to other traders. What good is talking to traders and you are not successful? It doesn't make any sense. Unless, of course, you're just interested in selling. So let's see, where were we? Over the course of many years, I built 28 trigger systems. All you got to do is click on this link and you will see screenshots. So that just about wraps up this video. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So until the next trade, good luck with your trading, and remember to keep yourself and your family safe. Okay, bye for now.